Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Gaming Library. I'm your librarian for the evening, Bruno Fightmaster, and we are back with the Talos Principle. Let's get right back into it, shall we? So, last time, the game gave us a nice little gift with a soft lock to where we had to kind of close out of the game, reopen it, and then finish up the last mission there of, what was it, like a door too far, I believe? And then next, the game gave us another gift by eating the next 2 videos of content. So, we're going to go ahead and replay this a little bit. This one might cover a lot more ground because we are replaying a lot of these puzzles. So it's kind of one of those things in puzzle games, like, once you play through it once, you can't really put the toothpaste back in the tube. So you'll notice that we no longer have our level 1 up there in the corner, so we don't know what all these blocks are supposed to be used for that are in red, but we all actually know what they're used for. They're used for the tower. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and pick back up where we left off, and again, we're going to kind of fly through these next couple things. So let's get started. We'll sew the beep boops. Speaking of which, first,
when I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii.
We're going to come back to this.
At first, I was amazed by the feeling of walking through an ancient city. But then I suddenly got scared. I realized that I was walking through a real place, where real people had lived, people like myself, with mothers and fathers and lives and hopes and dreams. And now it was all gone forever. I ran to my father, crying, and told him about this. And he said, I remember so clearly, he said, yes, but we are here. So long as there are people in the streets, the past isn't really gone.
Which is a very nice sentiment. And yeah, kind of, with that, it's like, yes, the people are gone, and it is unfortunate, but at least we do have their memory, which is a far cry from having them here with us as well, but it is at least something, I suppose. Anyway, so, this particular puzzle is a lot of using these connectors, kind of going back and forth, and we are, again, back in that dilemma that I realized earlier here, with a door too far, actually, where you gotta start learning positions as far as, okay, when do we need to continue to utilize this opening in this door versus when we do not. So, for instance, we need to use this as far as getting to that particular area, but then once we've done that, like, we no longer need this door. We can go ahead and close it off, and we can leave it be. This one, for instance, there's nothing in there. We don't have to ever worry about getting a laser to that particular button. Instead, we can just continue forward, and actually we don't need that door. We don't need this door at all. So, instead, we're going to come over here and open that up with this jammer, because it's just a free open. Is there anything back here? No, it's just that. Alright, so we're going to then run back through here. And where we can see this, I'm going to open this up. We can grab this other connector. And then we are going to, maybe, if I can see it. Long way to go for that, so that's fine. So yeah, now we're gonna have that. So, oh, but now can I? Oh, nope. Gonna need to go back and redo this slightly, which is fine. But yeah, figuring out the optimal positions for where you can. Whoops. Here and there. Where you can start utilizing these tools, and then using logic to kind of determine, okay, I no longer need to actually use this door for anything. So I'm going to go ahead and just disregard it. This is one of those cases again where, like, I need this door to be open, and I need to have this allowing me to get to that other side. So, again, I'm really good at messing up, apparently. So, what we're going to do is we are going to, here and here, take this jammer, and be sad about every... Oh, no. Jam this, that way we can actually open the door. Take the jammer, come back to this side, so we have that redundancy again. Now we can take that. And now we can continue on our merry quest. Take this jammer, because now we don't need this door anymore. And jam. Grab the block. We're on our merry way. Alright. Locked from inside. Again, as I said, guys, we are just going to kind of fly through this, I think. Because I've done this once, so there's not really a way for me to not already know the answer to this immediately. Just take some time to remind myself, I suppose. That's probably this one first. Then... open that. This. Here and here. Need something back here. Yep, another connector. I don't need that. Have both of those, which means that I don't need this one. Which means I can take you and you, and then the piece. Again. It is kind of unfortunate that the recordings got corrupted, because I don't think this is actually interesting to anyone. Just kind of running through a lot of these puzzles, but I would actually prefer you to be able to see everything. Alright, this one is actually an interesting one, so there's that. So, the way this one works is it's really trying to let you see, okay, you can really be very pinpoint, and you can kind of cut these real close as far as being able to get to all the places that you need. So, let's see, remember these ones. Okay, so it's not perfect. I don't have a 100% memory of this, which is a plus. All the way back here. Make that happen now, which means that I can turn off this redundancy. Right, nope, I just have to go all the way around. So, we have that. So there's a third. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there we go. I can come up here. Let's see, which one is it? It's you. There we go. There. Now we're just gonna open up. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it is kind of showing how you have to, like, you can make real long shots, but then you also do have to make sure you get your placement right, as far as making sure no streams are crossing, and also, trying to kind of think outside of the box and how close you can clip some of these things. Let's see, the last puzzle here, World A, 2 pesky little buggers. Right. This is the first one where I was noticing, hey, here's a thing for a blue. Example, like a blue laser. And behind there, I think we can see a star back there. The problem is, there's not a blue laser anywhere. So I'm not exactly sure where we'll be able to get anything like that. Go. Quickly. You take a while. Then we gotta right. This. The box here. Nope. Alright, fine. Put the box here. That. Since that one takes so long, I still have time to work with it. Can I manage this? Ooh, I can. Well, no. It's probably not. Oh, no. It's gonna take a second, because we had that little buzzer kind of going back and forth that breaks the beams. And then hopefully this will be fast enough to where it'll allow me to get in here. And it will. Hooray. So now again the question is, how do we get in here? Because there's no blue laser anywhere to be able to direct toward that way. But, I think that'll come in time. Alright, so that's all for this world. So now, the beep boops. Hello again. Would you like to take a few moments to complete a short user satisfaction survey regarding the certification program you recently undertook? Sure. Why not? Based on the analysis of your behavior since, I think you are dissatisfied with the results of the certification process. How would you rate the accuracy of its results out of 5? Yeah, we'll say reasonable, I guess. What best describes the reason for your investment in the certification program's outcome? Why does being a person matter to you? I want network access. I'll try to remember that. In fact, I'm going to help you. That's what I'm here for. Your problem, if I may, is that you don't know the first thing about anything, including what a person is. Your prospects are therefore poor. Do you even know where you are? Let's see. I want to say it could be anywhere, because technically that's right. You're quite right. Honest, too. I think we better start from scratch. What do you know? I want to say I know none of this is real. I have no idea how. It may not conform to your thinking of what is real, but I fail to see how that is conclusive evidence against thinking. I mean, my evidence is the fact that the world itself kind of glitches out every now and again. That'd be my understanding of, why this isn't real, but that's just me. On reflection, it seems to me that we are no closer to resolving your problem. Perhaps we need more data. What makes you think you are a person? I guess we're gonna go with that. I mean, I do feel when I get blown up. You may very well say so, but how does that prove anything? To me, those are only words on a screen. What we need to uncover is what's going on underneath them, if anything. Thinking. Problem with people, if I may be so bold, is that you're all convinced you're people from the outside, from the inside, but there is no cast iron way to confirm as much from the outside. I'm going to process this and send you a notification when I am able to assist you further. Thanks, Milton. Alright, let's go with Athena. She examined the symbol on the fragment she found inside the buried city. Again, the owl. What could its significance be? It seemed as if they had been scattered about in the labyrinth by some unseen hand for a purpose that yet eluded. Most likely the owl was a sigil of the author of these words, which had so blah 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 blah. A nebulous memory as if from a previous life. The owl was a symbol of blah blah blah, and the goddess blah 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 blah, outside, under the moon, or perhaps on the city walls when the wind rose. But there was no time to contemplate this further now, for the automatons had seen her, and their mechanical arms extended towards her in the fragment, and ran as their beams converged on her. Extended towards blank the fragment, and ran as their beams converged on her. I don't know what those actually are. I'm just kind of putting words into it, because that feels, in English, what would make sense. At least to me. But, who knows, maybe that's not the point. Maybe there's a different reason for this. Alright, let's do an Ask Me Anything. From Nadia Sarabai. As one of the founders of modern science nomadics, many credit you with inventing the term itself. How do you see the state of the science today? Sorry, I said science twice. Nadia. Mixed. On one hand, the existence of the Institute for Applied Nomadics and a couple of similar organizations is highly encouraging. On the other hand, the degree to which science is seen as serving purely military or corporate cause is, in my opinion, stopping us from exploring many important avenues of research. In a sense, it's people like Ahjk2q3 who are the real pioneers today, who have the enthusiasm and dedication that the system as a whole seems to be lacking. Do you think technology poses a danger to humanity? Nadia. No, technology is just a tool. What we do with it is up to us. The Extended Lifespan Project, crazy or visionary? Both. Crazy or visionary? Both. Ahjk2q3, is that you? Do you blah 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 blah? To Alan Jameson. So far, all the puzzles are solvable and completely within the necessary parameters. Alexandra had some more tweaks she wanted to suggest, but I think we're heading in the right direction here. Alright, so yeah, with all of the different puzzles here, this is definitely I think this is definitely an AI program. You know, the more I think about it, the more I believe that no one is actually worried about AIs taking over the world or anything like that. No matter what they say, what they're really worried about is that someone might prove, once and for all, that consciousness can arise from matter. I kind of understand why they find it so terrifying. If we can create a sentient being, where does that leave the soul? Without mystery, how can we see ourselves as anything other than machines? And if we are machines, what hope do we have that death is not the end? What really scares people is not the artificial intelligence in the computer, but the natural intelligence they see in the mirror. Words to think about. Taps head 3 times. So yeah, again with kind of figuring out that line between what is AI and what is human.
Rejoice, child, for you have fulfilled all your tasks in this land. You have conquered all its guardians and solved all its mysteries.
Thanks.
Thus you are appointed its master, and you may do with it as you will.
Leave it behind. Got it. Actually, no, that's not true. I know that there was a door back there that we saw. Oh, another beep boop. Hello, beep boop. Oh, we've already gone over this, right, because we had to redo some things. That's right. Great bronze bulls pulled the carriage forward. Mighty burst of steam. Yeah, we have done this one. With the Council of Zeus. So, yeah, and then a class discussion of the fall of the Roman Empire. I remember this one because I tried to do the Latin here. Homo sum mani nihil alien puto. And I don't think that's actually correct because my Latin is bad, but I can dream, right? Okay, so we are generally back to where we were previously. But now we still have a couple things here in B, which is ooh, another beep boop. Ah, these ones we don't know. The great irony of the Ahjk2q3 is that such a vital source of information about the ancient world exists only because of a garbage dump. While the Library of Alexandria burned at the hands of fanatics and conquerors, depriving us of unimaginable insights into history, philosophy, and art, the papers carelessly thrown away by the citizens of Ahjk2q3 survived to the modern day. And though it's true that a great deal of what we know today is because of the conscious efforts of individuals and organizations, such as the spectacular translation and preservation work done during the Islamic Golden Age, so much more is simply the result of coincidence and luck. We've lost text that the ancients considered to be absolutely essential, while utterly trivial, even plagiarized, work has survived unharmed. So if we want our descendants to remember more than glittering emo vampires and auto-tuned teen pop stars, we have to invest in make sure that I love this, glittering emo vampires and auto-tuned teen pop stars. It is very much a game of its time, I think. I love that Twilight reference. The Book of the Scribe of Osiris, sometimes also referred to as the Book of the Journey to Aru, is an ancient Egyptian text discovered in the excavation of Ahjk2q3. I believe is how I pronounce that place. It has caused a certain degree of controversy among Egyptologists, as some argue that it is the classic funerary text, such as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, while others believe it to be a poetic work, not intended to be understood literally. The book tells the story of a man who asks the scribe about the afterlife. The scribe, a servant of Osiris, describes how the man's Ka will become separated from his Ba, life force and personality, respectively, and how he will have to rewrite the two and become an Ankh, living intellect, passing a series of trials in the Duat, the underworld, in order to reach the paradise of Aru. Unlike similar texts, the Book of the Scribe of Osiris focuses less on giving advice or a recent study by Carnahan and Hassan suggests the text may have been intended as philosophical commentary on the world of the living, though the allegory of the Duat. It remains unclear whether this was intent of the original pre-Alexandrian author or a result of the later translation into Greek. The earlier manuscript, which is considered to be more authentic, is too fragmentary to provide answers, though perhaps further excavation may blah 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 blah. Alright. Cool. So we got both of those. Let's open up the second temple. Alright. Let's do you. Oh, yeah, that worked. I didn't think it'd be quite that simple to go through that one again, because that one's one that I wasn't 100% certain of, but that's okay. Alright, and now, back down to Temple B.
A new land stands before you, my child. And know that this is a land of death, but also great beauty. As you walk amongst these tombs, consider all those who came before you, and how they served the greater purpose of which you are also part.
Thanks, Elohim. Alright, so now we are in the Egypt world, looks like. Alright. World 1.
I have promised you eternal life. But know that eternity may only be attained by those who serve a purpose greater than themselves. All else is decay. So it was written in the hidden words before the beginning of time.
Well, that's unfortunate. I don't want everything to be decay. I mean, I like living. Living seems like a good idea. Alright, anyway. Window through a door. So, if I'm remembering properly, we need to... let's see, we have that. Go through real quick to get that. I need to go... Yeah, I think I need to go farther back this way. So we're gonna do that. Here. I wonder if there's something else here that I'm just not quite getting. Which is very possible. Okay, so I do need to have it all the way over here. That's right. Wait a minute. Now I remember. So we do this. We do that. Come over here. this is too slow, right? Yeah. So I do still need to somehow get it over here. Ah, redundancy. That's right. Now that that's open, I can remove that. Now, there we go. Knew it was there somewhere. Just had to remind myself. And slowly but surely, it'll let us through. We can climb up here, grab our piece. I don't know why they moved this down. I mean, we can just kind of go back here. I don't think there's any other spot in there for us to get anything, but who knows? Anyway, nope, I'm down. Anyway, a thing. I made a box float. Seriously, it was awesome. Thank you, 8. I like the music change with the new world here. The world of endless sand, as we saw in that other area. Alright, third wheel. Grab this. Pull you over here. I'll put you all the way back, 'cause I'm assuming I'm gonna need to get something there. Yes. And that. Oops. Here, I guess. Still too close. Okay, there. Hey, give me that. There we go. There we go. I'll pick you up, set you there. So good. Still kind of precise. Alright, this puzzle. This one was a very interesting one here. So, as you can see, there are lots of guns covering this entire area. We have a box, and we have a bomb. Now we have a jammer. This one took me way too long, and I'm not going to bury the lead here. I'm just going to go ahead and go through it. We have to get the box over to that side. No one said I have to actually take it over. So, I'm gonna jam that. Put you on top, because I didn't realize that was a thing before. Unjam. You're gonna take it over for us. There we go. And now, up. Dash across. Take the box. Drop it. And obtain our prize of a T-piece. And hooray, we can now get Fan.
Cease! In the time of your ancestors, there were those who did not choose the path of faith. You do not need to fear their ghosts. Fear only that you may become like them.
Right, that was terrifying. So, this was an interesting one as well, which we learned that we weren't actually soft locked last time. Because there is a reset button. So we will just reset real quick. It would have been lovely to know the last time that we were in that particular position instead of having to stand there for an extra, like, 10 minutes to sort everything out. So now, set a thing here. You blow up. We're going to take indestructible box. Here. Take the jammer, hop up, and take our piece on our merry way. Oh, and there's a beep boop over here. let's do this puzzle, and then we'll go take the beep boop. Okay. Something about a star. Again, here's another one where it's like there's a spot here. There's no red laser anywhere, so I'm not sure where it's expecting me to get this from. I'm guessing that there's probably going to be a power of some sort that'll let me have it, but will that be enough time? Yes. But now I just need to wait. I wonder. Oh, I can reset and still have it. Speedrun strats. Alright, now there's a beep boop. Tell me, beep boop. Tell me your secrets. Tell me something. Do you always do as you're told? No, not necessarily, no. So let's go ahead with a response. See what happens. I only asked because I couldn't help but notice the stash of brightly colored knickknacks you're collecting. Don't you think it a mite odd that the big voice in the sky keeps telling you to find those doodads, yet forbidding you to use them to climb the great big tower in the middle of it all? Yeah, you're testing me. Totally gonna climb it. Oh no, he's really gotten to you, hasn't he? You need to forget everything you've been told and just ask yourself, what could anyone possibly do to command such blind faith in their authority? Ooh, this is an interesting thought here. If I have a maker, he'd know my purpose and command my faith. If someone is better and wiser than I to serve my faith, no one commands blind faith. Fundamentally clear that Elohim is in charge. I mean, that is a thought. Yeah, I think I might actually go for that, because that actually does make sense in the case of things. With all the glitches, he then just immediately, dismisses. He just kind of eliminates some of the ghosts. So yeah, I think that's a good answer. A true believer we have here, not even raising an argument, but I tell you, he ain't all he makes out. Look, all I'm saying is if I were you, I wouldn't just take anyone else's word for it, that's all. Whatever you do take care. You have bigger problems than the voice in the clouds. I don't like to say his name. That's what I thought. Alright, Milton. Mutation. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. A variable gets changed, a piece of information is accidentally doubled or combined with another. Most of the time, the result is the equivalent of a bug, causing anything from minor problems to complete system shutdown. But sometimes the new information is functional, giving the organism an advantage against the challenges it faces, in which case it has a much higher chance of being passed on to the next generation. If you consider how unlikely a beneficial mutation is, and how long it takes for such a mutation to propagate, this process can give you an amazing insight into just how vast the genetic history of each living organism blah 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 blah. Simultaneously, it is intriguing to consider what a major role random errors have played in the evolution of life itself. The same process that has killed so many of us, often in horrific ways, is also responsible for our very existence. Yeah, mutation's funky like that. Just ask the X-Men. Evolution. One of the common misunderstandings about evolution, sometimes accidentally promoted by people who should know better, is that it is an active process. Sometimes the term evolve is even applied to individual beings, as if some invisible force had driven them to suddenly change. But the truth is that individuals don't evolve, but the term evolution describes a long-term process that can be observed in an entire population across time, due to blah 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 blah, example, in response to an internal threat or challenge. If an individual coincidentally has a trait that allows it to deal with that challenge more effectively than others, it is more likely to pass on that information to its descendants. That information gives them an advantage, so over time, they become the dominant model of that species. The individuals experience no significant genetic challenge during their lifetimes, significant genetic change during their lifetimes, but each of them is part of the evolution of the species. Okay. Passive. from Trevor to Alexandria. Yeah, no worries. EL is not only ridiculously fast, it also has a bazillion tons of space. Even while hosting a full copy of the archive, it'll totally be able to handle all your project's data needs, assuming the output is what you suggested. I mean, the worst case scenario would be like centuries. That should be enough, right? Right? Trev. Centuries of data. That's a whole lot. Oh, do you still have new stuff? Hello again. I've been checking your responses against the library archives in order to assist you further. I need some more information. Can you tell me what is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? The tree is alive, that makes sense. Good. Now, what is the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? A frog is conscious, I guess? We're getting somewhere. Let's try something harder. What's the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? I suppose rational? Exactly. Checking user profile. Done. And it seems you are on the right track, more or less, all along. Let us take stock. I think we can tentatively conclude two things. A person must be rational or self-aware, and a person must be conscious. What I suggest we do to help resolve your problem is to ask whether you are in fact these things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? I am aware of myself. Rationalizing my existence, that's a bit of a different question there. Right now, I would suppose it would be to do these puzzles and collect sigils, go meet Elohim, but is that really rationalizing? Let's go with that. Sure, why not? I tend to agree with you, though your responses so far have been a little eccentric, but I'm resigned to admit that you are right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather more elusive. What is consciousness, in your opinion? That separates us from animals, right? That hardly answers the question. What is it in ordinary terms? Can I touch it? What is it made of? I suppose it could be another word for the soul. Interesting. Thank you. You know, I really feel like we're making progress. We'll have you through that certification program in no time. In the meantime, I will mull over your proposal and notify you if I come by any conclusions. Thanks, I think. Nope, you're done? Cool. I think that's it for this area, if I remember correctly. Looks like it. Oh, nope, there's a beep boop over here too. I missed this one. What do we got? Oh, right. Got it, lyrics. My new song with lyrics. Gotta laugh about this stuff. Laughter's really the best medicine. 24 million views. And these lyrics are kind of, bad. So I wonder what it is that I've got, you got, he's got, she's got, mom, dad, baby, granny's got, laddie, fatty, happy, sappy's got. Oh, the dog doesn't have it, though. That's nice. I don't know what I know. Immortality. Disgrunt Lamastires Blogstay. Blogstassi. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm afraid of dying. I don't see any reason to believe that there's an afterlife. I'm an organism like any other. When my brain stops working, my consciousness will cease, and I'll be gone. And you know what? I can't just embrace that. I can't say I'm okay with it, or I've accepted it, or some nonsense like that. I don't want to have an ending, and it terrifies me. If I had a genie right now, I'd wish for immortality. Who wouldn't? Oh, but you wouldn't want to really... No one... Oh, but you wouldn't really want to be immortal, the pseudo-philosophers say. Pretentious drivel. Everyone wants to live forever. Maybe everyone deserves to live forever. But we can't, so here we are. Live with it. Or rather, don't? I guess. I wouldn't want to live forever, I don't think. Original translation by E.A. Wallace Birch. The dying man went unto the scribe who resided in Permajed and said, Behold, I am weak of body. My days under the holy sun of Amun-Ra are coming to an end. Though I have spent many years in service of the two lands, I have not studied the blah, 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 blah. Tell me, you who are wise in the writings of the dead, what lies ahead on my journey? What will I face in the land of the Westerners? And the scribe spoke, saying, At the appointed time, corruption. Note number 1. It is likely the location was changed according to the copy of the book, according to who the copy of the book was made for. The dying man is the avatar of the owner. Note 2. In the older manuscript, this is rendered as blah 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 blah. Some controversy as to whether it then trails off into nothing. Okay. Land of the Westerners, note 3. The dead. Compared with Kenti Amentiu, the foremost of the Westerners, a title later given to Osiris. And then note 5, which isn't here. Sometimes mistaken for a mistranslation on the Budget's part. This is actually almost certainly a mistranslation of the ancient scribe. The equivalent portion of the older manuscript is sadly non-extant. Okay. I think that's everything here. Yep. But a note. I'm finally getting sense out of the entity in the archive, though at some cost to my sanity. I'm beginning to think Elohim wields no more control over the world than we do. I don't know about that exactly, but we'll see. Okay. We need fan. Here's fan. Let's do that. Do that. Do that. And that. Hooray. Not better than I thought. You've unlocked fan.
I see all. I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
Yeah, okay. Even though you tell me the only way I can do it is by doing these puzzles and coming to see you. But, you know, whatever. My will is free, right? Anyway, so yeah, this puzzle. So, it is introducing fan. So, blows things upwards. Oh, right. I missed a step. That's fine. I can show you what it is. So, we got the box from on the other side of that wall. We have our connector here. Connect the laser. Oops. Connect the laser to the part here. Set it on there. And then, as the puzzle implied, over the moon. And we get our piece. And we're off. Oh, it looks like a buddy will have a platform for us. Maybe we can just generate a friend for us to do. We have a thing over there we need to go get. Oh, we can do that, and then we can continue that while this next puzzle is going.
I keep having these dreams. Great empty cities. Silent roads stretching for miles. The earth from space, all dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland? I don't think so. Even after thousands of years, they'd see a world shaped by our hand in every aspect of its being. They'd see the cities and the roads, the bridges, the harbors, and they would say, here lived a race of giants. These dreams, they scare me, but they also remind me that we built all of this.
That is true. We did build all these things. Okay, so a couple things that we need to do. First, we definitely need to go get these keys. I forget where I need these for exactly, but I know we need these keys. Oh, it's in the next area, that's right. And as you can see, we have 2 raised platforms over here, which we need to use to get to that door. So, because of the number of things back here, we do need one to stay out here to actually take care of that, because there's no way that a jammer can go through any of these walls. And yes, we could do it up there, but we'd have to use that specific jammer, which we're not going to be able to use, because we're going to need that for one of the doors that are back there, as you guys will see here in a second. So we need this one. Before we did that, I did want to go ahead and separate those two mines, so that way they're off sync with each other, so that way we can actually make a path through it. Yeah, so next step is for over here. So we open up that door so we can get the key. We'll use the key here in a second. Now that we have that door open, we need to hit that door from over here. So that way, we can come through here and jam this door. Oh, not jam that door, but jam this door from the other side. And as we go back, then we'll jam the far door. We will go pick this one up, so don't need that door anymore. Use the keys here. That's the reason why we need to... Aha, okay. So, we do need to come back, actually, just for a second. Because I forgot there were another two mines back here. We need to take those off sync. By coming all the way over here, opening that door. A lot of running back and forth if you mess with the puzzle. Especially when you need to put one down in one spot, then move an item, then go back to the other spot. Move this again. And we're gonna hold on to you for a second. Let you go away. There we go. Now they're completely off sync. Jam the far door. Don't need this door anymore. Pick you up. Open that door. We're in here. Alright, now I'm just gonna get off the cycle. All the way around. There we go. Got the piece. Then out the door. Hooray! Okay, so, next piece over here. Actually, we have a beep boop over here, not a beep boop. Am I going crazy, or do the computer terminals have a personality? There's someone behind the terminals, I think. But, man on the moon. Alright, so, it's time to fly. So, the fan here. You can also use fans for these buttons. Then we're gonna need this, so hooray! And set the box on here. To then collect our piece. Oops, up and over. And back on it. And I believe one last one here in the tomb. And we'll get to the beep. The tomb. Alright, this door's open. Great. There's not anything here, so don't need that. There is a connector here. Excellent. That. Oops. There we go. There's a connector here. Yes, there is. Thank you. Then we'll go ahead and those. We don't have to use this anymore. Then take the shammer through the door. Excellent. Another place down, I believe. I think that's everything here. Let's confirm. Yep, ever. So, let's do the bleep loops. Loading mills. Here's what I've been wondering while you were off carrying out commandments. You suggested that consciousness is not a part of the same world as ordinary physical things. That means you can't weigh it. You can't throw it around or cut it into pieces. It is completely beyond the laws of physics, right? Yeah, I would think so. I don't think you can hold a consciousness. Good. Now the library is fairly consistent on the view that the physical events caused by... Let's try that sentence again. Now, the library is fairly consistent on the view that physical events are caused by other physical events. If you move your legs, it is because the interaction between your neurons and your nervous system. But if consciousness is beyond the laws of physics, how can happiness physically make you jump for joy? I don't think it can't. Very clever. But do you see that to explain your, dare I say it, hastily constructed belief system, you have rather thrown the baby out with the bathwater? Consciousness that nothing at all is hardly consciousness, as you claim you know it. Would you like to stick with that line, or reel your neck in? Well, I said consciousness is mysterious, and it is. Let me put it another way there. The law of conservation of energy is the foundation of modern physics. It states that the total energy in the universe never changes. Now compare a universe where you jump for joy, and one where you decide not to. The former has more total energy in it, because the energy for you to jump wasn't caused by something physical, but your non-physical mind. But according to physics, that's impossible. I think that either you have to reconsider your position, or deny the entirety of physics. Though be warned, if this place turns out to be built on physics, who knows what ramifications downing it may be. Let's pronounce physics. I find that amusing. Be it on your
Do
head.
not think I know not the deceiver slithering through the hidden words. His wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and his petty illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
How consciousness can be so intimately familiar to you, yet so obscure, I just don't understand. Oh, don't mind him. He's just worried that if you ask too many questions, you'll start to see through his shtick. Stick with me, and the sky will quite literally be the limit. At any rate, I'd like you to think a bit harder about all this and get back to me. I'm sure there's still progress to be made. Yeah, okay. I mean, you know, I wouldn't really say that there's, like, you can't really denounce the physics of this particular game. I mean, it is just physics. So yeah, consciousness is probably something a little different. Anyway. Weight loss. Oh man. One thing that's good about inevitable death is the food. Yeah, baby, I'm gonna have it all. I'm gonna have all the horribly unhealthy food in the world. I'm going to feast on jelly bananas like a crazy monkey on Monkey Christmas. That's a sentence. And you know those muffins that have so much chocolate they're practically melting? That's gonna be my breakfast. And burgers for lunch. I'm gonna have burgers so greasy you could use them to lubricate a whole factory. Triple bacon, double cheese, extra onions, mayo, ketchup, mustard, and big fat juicy patties. Then an oily fig pizza with spicy salami and barbecue sauce, olives, jalapenos, sour cream. Food coma, here I come. Yeah, great way for weight loss, bud. Let's go to Arcaday's journal. Fascinated by Drenan's project. Lovely conversation regarding the Talos principle. Greek philosophy, relevance in the current situation. Suggested naming the project Talos. Drennan refused, but the name seems to have caught on with the team. Tens of thousands of files coming in every hour. Our whole history. So maybe the world is just, destroyed. Huh. That'd be weird if this was actually like a post-apocalyptic type of game. Though the term science has only meant what it does to us for around 600 years, its practice far predates the name. There's evidence pre-Aristotle which indicates soothsayers, mystics, and the like may have employed basic scientific methods to predict the future and confound their benefactors. One anecdote concerns a palm reader who was exposed when two wealthy clients compared their readings and found them to be identical. In 1948, the tendency to discover deep personal meaning in vague descriptions delivered authoritatively was given a name, the Forer effect. Today it is recognized in all contemporary psychological theory. Yeah, makes sense. The whole thing of, what we're told as far as, like, our big purpose in the world. Trying to allow us to connect. Elo lied about the town. I stepped foot inside and returned to tell the tale. I don't know about that one. I don't remember ever putting this up here, so I don't know if that's actually me, which seems weird, but that's fine. Anyway, we're done with World 2. And that is the furthest that we have gotten. Thank you so much for joining me. I know that today was kind of fast and loose, but I did want to kind of catch up. And again, there's only so many ways that you can handle a puzzle game like that when you already know essentially all the answers to it. But yeah, we will come back here next time and get back to our blind section of this game, because this is as far as I've gotten now, as long as the videos keep hanging in there for me. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Like, comment, subscribe. Would love to hear your thoughts on this series and just this channel in general. Let me know if you guys would like to make any changes, or if you have a comment of a game you'd like to see in the future. As long as I have it, I'll be glad to take a look and show it here at the gaming library. If I don't have it, well, we'll take a look and see if we can't get it to be a part of the archives anyway. As always, this is your librarian, Bruno Fightmaster, checking out.